In the name of God, the most beneficent, the most merciful. Hello everyone. First of all, thank you for having me. My name is Mustafa Abbasi and I'm one of the speakers and residents of Shep City, obviously. I'm a proud Australian Muslim living here in the West, and I'm also an Afghan today as well. Today I want to talk to you about what Eid is and what it means to me. Actually, Eids, plural, we've got a few, and they're all special in different ways. Most people, when they hear Eid, they think there's only one. Like, oh, you got your Eid today. But it's kind of like assuming there's just one kind of pie. There's not. There's different layers, delicious, chaotic, spiritual layers. So let's start from the top. What exactly is Eid? Eid linguistically is, from the Arabic language, means to return or to repeat in its root. But it's often interpreted as a time of returning joy. In other words, celebration. We'll go in no particular order, just give a brief description of the different types of Eid. In no particular order, we'll start with Eid al-Fitr, which comes right after Ramadan, you guys are all aware, and our month of fasting. And when I say fasting, it means no food, no water, sunrise to sunset. Yes, not even water. So, I know how much Australians love their coffee, so they're like, not coffee either? Yeah, not coffee either. So, we always hear that every year. Like, no coffee, we love our caffeine addicts anyway. So, I know how much Australians love their coffee, but we try to take it seriously. It's a time to celebrate our spiritual reset, to reflect on things that we've learned during the month, and to come together as a community. But beyond the food, the gifts, and the fun, it is also about giving. We're encouraged to donate to those in need, something called Zakat al-Fitr, so that everyone, regardless of their circumstances, can celebrate as well. The part of Eid which always humbles me is this very bit. It reminds me that our happiness isn't just ours to keep, it's rather meant to be shared with others. The next one is Eid al-Adha, which was last week. And this comes obviously later after Eid al-Fitr. And it also has Judeo-Christian roots to it as well, where it commemorates Prophet Abraham, both mentioned in the Bible and the Torah as well, and his willingness to sacrifice for the sake of God. It's a deep spiritual moment, but also an excuse to bring out the grill and go on a full meat lover's paradise. Now here's where it gets interesting. We Afghans and some Persians and some other cultures, we also celebrate an Eid called Eid Nowruz, which literally means new day. Our traditional New Year that falls on March 21st generally. And it's the first day of spring, rooted from Persian history. This one isn't necessarily religious, but rather cultural, but still important. Nowruz, new day, is about a new beginning, basically. It's got a symbolism of a new beginning. We clean the house top to bottom, which is fun for literally no one. Wear fresh clothes, visit family, eat a special family dish called haft mewa, a dried fruit with a mix soaked overnight in water. Think of it as an Afghan fruit punch, but with dates, almonds, heaps of raisins and less sugar crush. Last but not least, there is Eid al-Ghadir, which is today, which is especially meaningful to us Shia Muslims. And it marks the day that the Holy Prophet declared Imam Ali as his successor. For Shia families like mine, this day is a day of celebration, a day of reflection, honoring, leadership, loyalty, and truth. In my opinion, it's more intimate than the other Eids. There's no fasting beforehand. But we still have gatherings, sometimes recommended prayers, often share sweets and meals together with our family. Some people even recite poetry or speeches in honor of Imam Ali. It's a day that reminds us of our values, our history, and the importance of leadership rooted in justice and compassion. That was just a brief overview of what Eid was. Now I just want to briefly talk about what Eid means to me. Now, celebrating all these Eids here in the West has its perks and quirks. On one hand, you've got freedom to celebrate your own tradition. On the other hand, you're explaining to your co-workers why you're dressed up like a prince on a Thursday morning at work. So, as an Afghan in the West, Eid feels a little different. Back at home, the whole country shuts down, in Afghanistan, of course. It's everywhere. You can literally feel it. Streets are buzzing, mosques are overflowing, families are visiting one another, and every house smells like freshly made bolani, manto, and kebab. Here in the West, it's a little more quieter. Schools don't close, most workplaces don't stop either, but we make the most of it. And honestly, that contrast makes Eid so much more important. Now, Afghan culture is huge on hospitality. So every house you go, you're going to get welcomed like royalty. And you can't leave without eating, no matter how full you are. Because there's always that auntie telling you, you have to eat that plate of delicious food, otherwise my heart is going to be broken. And you don't want to break that auntie's heart either. One of my favorite parts of Eid is getting Eidi, which is money or gifts. Generally, we used to get this when we were young. But the older you get, the more you realize that you have to give rather than get. So it's a give or take. Now, celebrating Eid obviously has its challenging as well. Sometimes you're explaining to your boss. Sometimes people don't quite understand it. But I think that's why it's so important to talk about it. Because at the heart of Eid, something we can all relate to is family, gratitude, community, and giving back. By now, I'm hoping you've got a foundational understanding of what Eid is. So if you ever get invited to an Eid celebration, go. Come hungry, bring plates, because if there's one thing I can promise you, it's that you'll leave with a full heart and even a fuller plate. Eid Mubarak. Thank you for listening.